So that's the Western Cape Provincial Police Commissioner Thembisile Phathekile speaking to us a bit earlier on. It's worth noting that this is but the latest incident in Philippi East of a mass shooting where extortion is mentioned. There were at least 3 similar incidents last year in June, in August, in October last year we saw mass shooting incidents, and this would be the latest. So clearly something has gone wrong there. From the utterly distressing and disappointing to, what really uplifted us this past week, the Basic Education Minister, Siviwe Gwarube, announcing a historic milestone for the country's education system with the 2025 Matric pass rate reaching 88%, the highest on record. More than 900,000 learners wrote the examinations across over 6,000 centers nationwide. All 75 education districts achieved pass rates above 80%, with KwaZulu-Natal emerging as the top performing province with a pass rate of 90.06%. Despite the strong performance, the minister has cautioned that high dropout rates continue to reflect deeper challenges within the system. The results have also been accompanied by concerns around exam integrity following the detection of a paper leak involving 40 learners in Pretoria. So let's unpack all of this. I'm joined by the Basic Education Department spokesperson Terrence Khala, as well as 2 of the top performing matriculants from the class of 2025, Naicker from KwaZulu-Natal, as well as Danel Muller from the Eastern Cape. Terrence, let me start with you. Just an overall picture, 88% pass rate, the highest on record. But what is the content of that? What does it signify in terms of the maturity of the system, as well as our ability to achieve the goals we have as far as education is concerned?
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to my fellow participants. I think no longer learners are now part of the budding community of growing adults. I think it's important for us to acknowledge first and foremost the quality that the system has continued to produce. I think we congratulate every candidate that has come through that has given the system this 88% pass rate. I mean, we congratulate provinces like KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State, as well as the Northern Cape for showing the biggest improvements. And I think what's important for us is it's really showcasing the equity and system health. Over 66% of all bachelor passes to us, they're coming from no-fee paying schools. I mean, you see the growing number of no-fee paying schools that are achieving between 80 and 100%. And what this says to us is that government's interventions are working. The support that we've been giving to no-fee schools is continuing to showcase itself. And really the efforts, more importantly, of our young people and our educators, all of the people that work in our districts and in our provinces. This is a moment for us to celebrate. I think it's important, lastly, also for me to also include the element around the increase that we've seen in our special education, our schools with special educational needs. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see the increased performance that we're continuing to see there as well.
All right, Terrence, I'll come back to you and pull at various threads of conversation that have developed in the last few days since you announced the results. But I do, and I'm quite keen to get to the young people that you are alluding to in the last few minutes. Danel, let me start with you. 8 distinctions is what I believe you were able to achieve, the top performing pupil out in the Eastern Cape. Tell me about it, receiving your results, as well as what it means for you.
Firstly, I'd just like to clarify, I placed second in the yes. Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Yes, second. It was just an incredible experience, and I'm very proud and happy that all the work that I put in has paid off.
Sorry, Danel, I'm not sure I caught your complete response. So just tell me about what it means for you, the way that you have performed at Matric.
It definitely means a lot to me. I'm incredibly proud of myself and proud that all the late nights and tears and effort that I put in has paid off, and that it is a true reflection of the effort that I put in.
Sure. And for you, Ethan, my understanding is that you are carrying a certain burden as you are going through your Matric year, and it was not really an easy year for you. But despite all of that, tell me about what you were able to achieve despite the adversity that you faced.
Yes, I think I've said on previous interviews that I had gone into this year with a little bit of difficulty, but despite all of that, I put in all of the necessary work and the hard work and the discipline in order to achieve what I've achieved. I am the top student in KwaZulu-Natal 2025. I am the top student out of all the quintile 4 schools as well.
Yeah. Terrence, let me pick up with you on earlier on you told us about what the results represent as far as the maturity of the system, your happiness about schools from no fee, pupils from no fee schools starting to do better in the bachelor passes that you are attaining. But a concern has been retention right through from grade 1 all the way to grade 12. And the minister expressed that concern, particularly from grade 11 and into grade 12. What do you understand to be the factors at play there, and what's the response that you are putting together as a government?
Thanks once more for the opportunity to be able to speak to you. I think what's important for us is that we have noted that we do have strong retention from grades 1 to grade 10. Unfortunately, the bigger dropout that we're experiencing is from grades 10 to grade 12. Remember, it is compulsory for our young people to be in school all the way up until grade 9, where they can then explore alternative opportunities. So we do see that some young people are taking that opportunity, but also what it does underscore is the need for early intervention. I think what's important for us is that it's strategically important for us to continue to put more emphasis on the earlier years of learning. I think we have seen that where we do lose learners, it is for a myriad of different challenges that are experienced, and some learners perhaps do become a little bit despondent, and it's important for us to continue to support them. I think that earlier intervention that we have put in place, I mean, we have seen the more than 12,000 ECD centers that have been registered throughout the year 2025, and it's important for us to continue to support within those spaces to make sure that we create positive foundations for our young people to be able to take and traverse the entire journey. Obviously, there are other social factors that do affect our young people, but what's important for us is to continue to build on that system resilience, but also build on the resilience of our young people in terms of making sure that we can truly support them from the early childhood development phase all the way through the various compulsory phases up until they reach their matric and attain that certificate, which will be that gateway to opening up so many opportunities for them.
Ethan, let me turn to you, the top performing pupil in KwaZulu-Natal. Tell me about what brought you to that point and how you were able to achieve that feat, and how it fits in with your overall work ethic and character, as well as where you want to go with this journey.
Okay. So I think that especially with, Matric being filled with a lot of work and assignments and projects, I think that the way I prepared myself was essentially being very consistent. Matric, you have to have a lot of consistency and plan yourself out accordingly so that you don't feel overwhelmed and burdened with a lot of this work. And it allows you to sort of work in such a way that you complete everything and you are happy with the work that you have done, and so that you are prepared adequately for all your assignments and tests.
Yeah. Let me stick with you for a moment, Ethan. Say a bit more, though, about your subject choices and whether you are happy with the level at which you performed in each of the subjects as they relate to where you want to go with your career.
So I do English, Afrikaans, life orientation, maths, physics, accounting, and life sciences. I would say that I am quite happy with my performance in those subjects, particularly my maths and my electives. I wish to pursue medicine, so having achieved quite well in the physics, the life science, and the maths, I'm quite happy that it allows me to pursue the career I want in the way that I want it to.
Danel, let me turn to you. How did you do it? What did it take on your part to be able to perform at the level at which you performed in the Eastern Cape?
I believe that Matric isn't a one-year journey. It takes work from the beginning of grade 8, and it's from grade 8 to the beginning of the FET phase in grade 10, where you learn your work ethic, and it's those skills that you develop and then make use of finally in Matric. So I feel like it's those foundations that allowed me to achieve what I did in Matric.
Did you have a lot of sleepless nights though, Danel? Did you get up to a point where, as you were preparing, you felt, I know I've been consistent and I've been working over the years, but perhaps I just need to go over that section one more time. I need to go over that chapter one more time. I need to do that exercise one more time. How much of that became almost obsessive as the exams approached?
That was definitely one of my biggest challenges, is the idea of the finality of Matric and its importance, that it did cause many sleepless nights and lots of what-if scenarios, what if I forget things, and it did lead to lots and lots of anxiety.
Yeah. Terrence, let me come back to you. And it's a bit of a difficult one for me to have, because I come from the school of thought that says, I will not participate in rubbishing the hard work that these young people have done. We have two of them being part of this conversation. But nevertheless, much debate is happening about the quality of the pass at Matric level, the quality of what the young people are being taught. What is your best defense and response to that? For instance, the concern around only 34% of these matriculants having taken maths, while the rest wrote maths literacy, and also a declining pass rate as far as maths is concerned, but also that age-old debate about whether or not pupils are able to pass Matric by passing at a mere 30% pass mark.
No, thank you so much, Silas, for that opportunity to be able to address this. I think what's important for us as a system is to continue to lean on the fact that we do believe that our young people are able to take mathematics. We have seen, yes, a decline, unfortunately, from 69 to 64% in terms of the pass rate there. And we have put in a mathematics strategy that is led by our Math, Science and Technology division within the department. And what this is set to do is to be more aggressive in terms of making sure that we really champion the call for mathematics. We do believe that our learners are cognitively able to take mathematics. We've seen the various support that we've been receiving from members of the private sector, including for our drive to also continue to bring more young people into subjects like accounting, where we're being supported by SABC. But I think also the conversation around the 30%, which is very, very unfortunate, which is a conversation that really does take away from the quality of what the NSC is about. And it is important to leave viewers and listeners with the message that says that there's no child that would want to pass at 30%, or that we encourage to pass at 30%. What we're saying is that that is the minimum standard at which we are setting it, but also important to note that there's no child that will pass with 30% only. And also making sure that there's important subjects such as your languages that learners do need to pass at a minimum of 40%. And that is the conversation that we're continuing to champion, a conversation that says we are pushing for quality within the space, but we understand that not all young people are able to deliver at the same rate. Yeah. So having those minimum standards doesn't mean that that is the target. The target does remain to continue to push forward. We've seen that the 88% that we've achieved is possible for us to go even higher, and that's what we're continuing to do, making sure that we strengthen the system.
All right. All right, let me end it with a quick message from the both of you, Ethan and Danel, to the class of 2026. Ethan, what would be the message for you? How do they emulate and follow the path that you have taken?
The best piece of advice I can give to the class of 2026 is consistency. Just being consistent, planning yourself out each day and putting in a little bit of work, even if it's just an hour a day. That hour of work goes such a long way to preventing burnout, being overwhelmed with work, and it just puts you on the right track for the rest of the year. And in other words, it keeps the ball rolling.
Danel, quick message from you?
I would say continually reassess what is working and what isn't working, and be willing to take feedback from teachers or peers to continue to try and improve your own work and aim just for your personal best.
All right, I've got to thank all of my guests having joined me this afternoon. Terrence Khala from the Department of Education, as well as Ethan Naicker, the top performing student out of KwaZulu-Natal, and Danel Muller, who was the second best performing student in the Eastern Cape.